Well, hello, good evening and welcome to the Starters Orders 6 Online League National Hunt Review for week number 7. Get straight into the action with a roundup of Monday's action with Doug.
Race 2, it's the International Hurdle. It was a Grade 2. It was a great win for Alan McDonald's Demanding. Zaniba was gallant in second and Hedgemony was third, and from memory ran an uneven race. Dominion of Saints was good in fourth spot. The rest of the field will be looking for Grade 3 races, I believe. Race 3 was the Real Keel Handicap, another Grade 2. That was a strong win for Galactic Civilization for Leon van Rensburg. You'll Never Walk Alone tried hard, but no match for the winner. And Villanova de Foz Coa battled away for third. Race 4, the Summit Juvenile Hurdles, another Grade 2, and Time Runner for Thunderspark ran home the best to beat Crazy Horse in second and Trashman third. Race 5, the Kennelgate Novice Hurdle, Grade 2. Darren Thompson found the winner stall with Laguna Verde in an exciting finish, holding off the well-rated Banterbury Maid and the Demolisher in third. Bloodhound ran well for fourth. The rest were well beaten, and Peter Carl must have been hopeful for Limini, who was well off the winner in the end. Race 6 is the Knoll Novice Chase, and that was another Grade 2. The wins were getting shared around by this time, with Jim Murray's Satan's Curse putting a spell on them inside the last furlong. Bombshell was second. Grey Emblem was courageous in third. Broke the Gate Garancia looked a strong chance, but died on its run at the half furlong and ran fourth. Race 7 was the Long Walk Hurdle, and that was Grade 1, and Ghost Zapper's Rogers Princess used every bit of its 146 rating to just score over David Robinson's Coney Girl and Illustrious in third. Illustrious walked through the 12th hurdle, which may have cost it the race, and the highest rated runner, Pembroke Dock, must have been disappointing to see it pull up for Grey Clutterbuck. Race 1 was the December Gold Cup Handicap Chase at Cheltenham, and Vanguard Dream for Darren Howes got up and it won by a length, and congratulations to Darren. Hasn't had too many winners this season so far, I don't think. Into Sandman, who's an ultra consistent horse for Leon van Rensburg, ran second, and Sir Alfred Noble for Paul Rhodes ran third. Race 8, the Silver Cup Handicap Chase at Ascot. Phoebo Red for James Shea was a 2 3/4 length winner over Big Orange for Peter Kale, and Crash Bandicoot for Leon van Rensburg. Race 9, the Championship NH Flat Race at Ascot, that's the bumper, and Philippa Vale for Paul Rhodes was a 2 1/2 length winner over Juniper Maid. Jim Murray and Royal Lord for Thunderspark ran third. Race 10, the Tommy Whittle Handicap Chase at Haydock, and Moleport lad Jim Murray this time saluted. It was a half-length winner over Daylight Robbery from the Kevin Minahan stable, and Tragic Joe was third from the Peter Kale stable.
Okay, sitting here talking with Martyn. We're going to talk about his 2 days of hunt racing over the last weekend. How you going, Martyn?
I'm doing alright, thanks. Doug, how are you?
I'm good. I'm on the gin and tonic, so everything's good.
Oh, it's got to be good. Coffee I've got, so different time of the day, I suppose.
Well, I've gone on a health kick. I've put a slice or 2 of lime in there with it.
Alright, well, that counts as one of your 5 a day then.
Yeah, well, I think it's like a salad in a drink, a fruit salad. I've got some juniper berries as well.
Oh, well, there you go. It'll be good health kick for January. It sounds good.
Yes.
I'll go out myself later.
Step in the right direction.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so your first race was the 11th, and that was the Feltham Novice Chase. That was a Grade 1 at Kimpton Park. And Thunderspark opened the day with Mistmaker.
Yeah, it ran well. That did. Mistmaker led virtually all the way. It was. I thought it was going to get swallowed up, especially by Paul Rhodes' horse Wolftone, which looked like it had got some pretty good form, but Wolftone didn't really get going, and Mistmaker was tough from the front. I love the comment in the form where it says he made virtually all and then stayed on grimly. I don't quite know what staying on grimly is, but it's
He had his ears laid back.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough performance, and it was good. I've got a feeling that must be a transfer in horse, because I don't remember it earlier in the season, unless it's just one that's been kept under wraps. But yeah, it was good, and the second's a decent yardstick as well. Much C, that's been running in quite a lot of races, so we know the ability of that one. That ran well until Dom's all right in third, and Gottlieb fourth, and Cordilla Assaulti and Tetris. So there's quite a few regulars in there as well. So that form looks pretty good.
It's good to see Thunderspark break through on a Group 1 or Grade 1 race, because I think at the start of the season we were all expecting probably bigger things and what's happened, and see him get up.
Yeah, it's I must admit I still get a few of them confused, Thundersparks and Ghost Zappers and stuff, and I never realise which one's which. And sometimes I get those two. I'll get those two mixed up, because they've got a nickname rather than a real name, but they're regular sort of winners, aren't they? But yeah, that looks good, that Mistmaker. I don't know where he goes with it next, but wherever it goes, it'll no doubt stay on grimly again.
It's obviously got a bit of ticker.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 12th of the day, that was the Christmas Hurdle, and it was a good win for the favourite.
Yeah, that redundant pal is looking pretty much unstoppable in the 2 mile hurdles at the moment, isn't he? It's
definitely.
It looked like it might have been struggling at one point, but not for long. It sort of got back in front, really good jump at the final flight, and that was it. Race over, really. And could have won.
And City Slicker tried hard by the looks.
Say again, sorry, I didn't catch that.
City Slicker looked like it tried hard, but it was just no match.
Yeah, and you got the sort of Barata Natsiyama minding down there in 4th and 5th, so the form's top notch. That's going to take a chunk of beating in the champion hurdle. That one, I think that could be a champion hurdle banker for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't see much beating it at the minute. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the 13th. That was the King George the 6th chase. Is that correct? 6?
That's it. Yeah, King George the 6th. I sort of, I kept calling it the King George the 5th chase in the commentary. I don't know why. I mean, if anybody should get the title of the race right, it's me, really, isn't it? But so yeah, that was a bit of a bad error on my part there. I thought, how on earth have I managed to do that? But having said that, race.
Yeah, we all make a blue.
Yeah, that's a big error. That's a big error for me though. If it had been a race I'd never heard of, then I could accept it. But it was pretty bad. But what I'm going to say, race 13, but 13's supposed to be unlucky. It's Friday the 13th today, isn't it? So I don't know how lucky that's going to be. But
I didn't even notice that. So I think it's a full moon here in Australia.
It's what, sorry?
I think it's a full moon here tonight.
Is it?
Well, if it's not a full moon, it's closed.
Well, it was supposed to snow here, but it hasn't done so far. Not where I am anyway, so we avoided that. But yeah, this King George VI was, I reckon it's the best race I've seen this season. It was absolutely brilliant. It was that much fun to sort of commentate on, because anything could happen. There was about 6, 7, 8 of them could win it, jump in the last couple of fences, and I don't know who does the running of the races, but whoever did that one, brilliant, because it sort of, you got a real close up as they were jumping the last couple of fences, and it was great.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, big shout out to him then, because that was some pretty nifty camera work. That was, because it's great. I hadn't got a clue what was going to win it, to be honest, when they were going. And Festival Stanley was tucked in behind them, and then suddenly sort of burst through. I thought my old favourite Basaglio was going to take it, and up comes Festival Stanley and wallops them on the line. It was pretty exciting stuff. Pretty surprised to see the horse of the week vote, and Festival Stanley wasn't even on the shortlist. So that was a bit of a surprise, because looking at the form, looking at the form before, you wouldn't really have thought that Festival Stanley would have had a great deal of chance of winning. It looked like it was between Basaglio and Miss Beat, and the one that didn't finish, which was whose name just escapes me for a second, Bramhill Rose. They looked like the big three, but they seemed to me to go off at hell of a speed, because they were well strung out after about sort of 7 or 8 fences, and Bramhill Rose just couldn't go with them at all. So that was a surprise. I think that went off favourite as well. So
yeah, it was the favourite, and from the John Morgan goes out the stable. It was a bit of a surprise to see one of his horses pulled up. So
yeah, I was very surprised, because that old favourite Sharka dude was in the lead for a while as well. Set a really strong pace. Basaglio is there or thereabouts, wins or falls over or whatever, and Miss Beat is another one that sort of doesn't seem to run the same sort of race twice as well. I haven't got a clue what to win the Gold Cup now, to be honest, because the form's everywhere. But that was a really good race. I thought it was as good a race as I've seen. It was pretty good stuff.
So well done to Derek Hinton with this festival stand.
Yeah, I think we must have done some sort of magic with our Christmas show, you know, because Derek had a load of winners this week, and Charlie got his second winner, so that's got to be a bit of a thing, isn't it? Get yourself on the programme, and you might get some winners. So
well, it's definitely I'm taking the credit, and I think you should too.
Well, yeah, I think we're going to want to get a queue of people who want to be on this programme now, because if you get on this, you get a bit of luck and you win. So it's got to be good. But yeah, I'll sort of watch that race again and again. It was pretty good stuff.
Okay, we'll move on to race 14, Kempton Park. That was the Wayward Lad Novices chase. It was a grade 2. And nothing wayward was Miss Impossible.
Yeah, Miss Impossible won that one as well, didn't she? Yeah, and I don't know if you probably don't know this as well, being in Australia, because the news hasn't probably got over there yet, but this Kempton Park, where we're looking at for these races now, they announced yesterday that they're gonna knock it down and build a load of houses on it. So there's absolute uproar going on at the moment, and it's not a sort of the council or anything like that. It's the jockey club. The people that own the course have agreed to sell it and build a load of houses on it, and people are going absolutely crazy because of the location of where it is. It's such an easy track to get to for London, but their main thinking behind it apparently is that with the money they can build another all-weather track at Newmarket. Nobody really wants another all-weather track, so I should run and run for a bit. Sign
of the times.
Yeah, so they're talking about moving all these races to Sandown Park, which is not gone down very well so far, shall we say. It was the racing press was full of it yesterday. Top trainers coming out having a rant and stuff and complaining, so that'll run for a bit.
Same thing happened here in Adelaide, where I live. We used to have 3 metropolitan tracks, and now we've got one. One was in the heart of the city, in the Parklands, Victoria Park. That was a great track, and it was free to get in. There was no fence around it. So the only time you pay is if you wanted to get into the grandstand enclosure area. And that was part of the council, and so between the council and the jockey club, they wound it up after 100 odd years of racing. And then there was another track at Cheltenham, and pretty similar to Kempton Park. The jockey club sold it for housing. So now we've just got the one racetrack, just more for fuel.
It's not good, is it, the way these people can just jump in and do stuff like that? Because once they're gone, and that's it. You can't get them back. You're never going to hear a case of people knocking down 3,000 houses to build a race course, are you? So
that's exactly.
Anyway, we've done our usual trick and
talk about
gone off the thing.
It's impossible.
Well, the one good thing about it is that it means that this race will get a lot of video footage now, because we'll not need to put it on to back up this talking. So yeah, Miss Impossible, good win. Paul Rhodes again. He's like a machine with these jumpers, isn't he? He's churns them out one after the other. Thunderspark up there in second.
Might start calling Paul Rhodes the Professor.
Yeah, this one of your things. Everybody will be emailing you saying, "Can you make me a nickname up?" Because you're pretty good at giving these names out to people. Which is
Professor Rhodes.
It's good. Yeah, I think you'll like that.
There'll be a few people in the forums agreeing with me.
Yeah, he seems to have a bit of a knack. I'm going to be doing something similar in the next week or two. I think I'm going to have to get into getting some of these horses sorted out. So I should be picking a few brains. I should be putting a play out there for how do I get started? What do I do? Because I'm going to need to get in there and do something. Because somebody has got to jump in and do something for the commentators. Because to be brutally honest, I'm not having a go here, but you, Mike, and Tim are not really doing a lot of good, are you?
I'm on the verge. I'm ready to break out, mate. Don't worry about that.
I hope so. I keep thinking this will be the one. So, you're getting close. So yeah, back to the races again. Synchronicity and Wishing Well down the field as well, 3rd and 4th, so good form in that race as well.
Definitely.
I mean, these were top quality races, weren't they? And the other thing as well that I noticed this week was we had some massive fields, didn't we? Because I think that because everybody had 2 weeks off, they were all getting as many runners in as they could, and most races had got 20 odd, 18, 22, whatever runners, and they were pretty much all out there, weren't they? So there was some pretty top notch racing. So anything that won this week was good. I don't think there was anything winning this week that wasn't top notch, because all the big horses were out, with the possible exception of that Sally Army. I didn't see Sally Army running anywhere, but most of the others were out and about.
Yeah, Sally Army didn't run. If you didn't see it, I didn't see it.
No,
I didn't call it. It must be hiding in the box somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably saving that one for something. It might maybe there's a 2 miler for it this week, or 2.5 miler. I don't know. Have to have a look later. So I had the Desert Orchid chase next after that one, and that was
That was a slashing win by Knife, wasn't it?
it was, and that was a really good race as well, because I think there were 3 of them going up against each other that had run last time. Knife, and the name is Frank, and Flo Haru finished down the field, and then he got Uncle Ernie in there. Looked like it come through to win the race at one point, and then just suddenly went out as quickly as it came in. But Knife looks good. Another Paul Rhodes one. He got
I'm not sure if I reckon Knife might have ran last season.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll get Paul to, I'm sure he'll be listening in and he'll mention something in the forums, but I reckon Knife might have won around last season.
All right.
We'll soon find out.
It certainly looks pretty good anyway. And then it was, I think that all 3 of those that finished first, second, and third are all good.
Stu Grover's been unlucky there. We don't know much about him, but he's got some horses. They're just sniffing around, aren't they? Just letting you know that they're there. So.
Yeah, and there's some good horses down the field as well that we've seen quite a lot this season, like your amazing Sablazos and your Cordillera Supers and all them. So it's a good way of telling that the forms are right.
That one won a while back and then ran second in top. Beat Sally Army and then ran second to it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and that's finished, I would say, down the track. We've got a half there, 1 at 5 1/4, 2 1/4, so that's 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's finished, quite got right into the race this time. So
yeah, I think that
whatever
one.
reason, it does come from behind, so maybe it got caught in traffic. So
yeah, it could be, but I think that's good. That's good form, that race. And Knife, and the name is Frank up there. They're just going to get a Sammy Davis Jr. horse in there now as well, and we'll have the lot, won't we? Really?
Wouldn't that be beautiful? So we went on to race 16, and that was Roland Mayrick handicap chase. It was a grade 3, and no denying Snow Trooper in the handicap.
Yeah, Snow Trooper, one of the bottom weights. Oh, that was the race where Brenda Lee pulled up, and Sharp Shoes was the favourite. Didn't.
Congratulations to Darren Thompson, because the wins sometimes are hard to come by. That one well, 1 3/4 from turning on something from the Professor stable, and Phoebo Photo James Shea. Just too far away from.
Thinking from memory, there was definitely one of those Phoebo horses this week that was right out the back, and then suddenly came right through, finished well towards the end. It might have been that one. It was last sort of most of the race, and then suddenly just appeared, boom, right there in the top 3, and then couldn't quite go through with its challenge. And that was, I'm pretty sure that might have been that one. And Mirage that came fourth was another one that was running on late as well. I remember now. Maybe if that had started its run a bit earlier, it might have got a bit closer.
Even Charlie had a 5th there, Stagecoach Pearl.
Oh right, well, he did say that he got some good ones coming up soon.
I'll have to keep an eye on the Stagecoach.
We will, yeah.
It's an Aussie Post Stagecoach. I feel it'll be about as best as I get. Hopefully it's a Royal Mail one.
Yeah.
Well, look at the jockey Post.
Pardon?
The jockey's name's Post. So,
yeah, right.
No, it was a good race, and so well done to Snow Trooper.
Yeah. It did well. That's normally a good race, that Roland Merrick. It has some good horses in it. So.
Okay, so move on to the 3rd day, to race 21. That was the Punchestown Chase. That was a grade 1. It was an easy win for Loving Around.
Yeah, Loving Around looks the one, doesn't it? I don't think it's lost yet, has it? It seems to come out and win just about every week, and that's what 20 furlongs. That's 2.5 miles, isn't it? 20 furlongs. So whether he'll try and push it up.
5 1/4 length winner.
Yeah, if it's whether he try and push it up half a mile, see if he can go for the Gold Cup, I don't know. But I think there's a big Group 1 race at Cheltenham over 2.5 miles, and there, isn't there? So if it goes for that one, it'll be a banker for that, I think. Because I can't see anything beating it. It just looks unbeatable to me.
Yep, and the Professor had her green eyes in second.
Yeah, and that's no mug either, is it? That's a good horse as well. He must be sort of every time the races come round, he must be looking at that thinking, oh crikey, that Loving Around's in it again. He must be hoping it goes somewhere else, because if that's yeah, that Loving Around's pretty good. And again, if you look down through there, there's quite a few good ones in there that run well regularly. A couple that fell over as well. Salty Seagull and Lead Roll both fell, and they're normally there or thereabouts. Sally Montira and Mascala, they always run well. They were there as well, but it's all about Loving Around. That wasn't it? I wouldn't back anything against it at all that I've seen so far.
Well, I'll give you a tip here for the next couple of weeks. My missus is watching Absolutely Fabulous on her iPod, or iPad, I should say.
All right.
Absolutely Fabulous ran seventh in this race.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see Omen next start. Absolutely Fabulous. Get up.
So Absolutely Fabulous. We'll keep an eye on that one.
So we move on to race 26, and that was a December Novices Chase, and that was a grade 2. It was a close finish, and Carly Village unlucky to mess up the last jump.
Yeah, it did. That wasn't a Hollygrove native. What a finish that was! It was sort of. I had to have a stiff drink after that race. I think that was maybe one of the ones I called wrong, because you got Jenny Bond up there in second as well for your Professor.
I remember this race.
I don't know. I keep sort of saying in commentary, I keep referring to Jenny Bond as the former royal correspondent, and it finally dawned on me the other day that a lot of people might not have a clue what I'm on about, especially after we had the discussion about Claire Grogan, and you didn't know who she was. Well, Jenny Bond is a similar thing. So the former royal correspondent, she's a woman who used to read the news and be the reporter on the news. And what we have over here on the BBC is they have somebody who follows the royal family around, and it used to be Jenny Bond, and she used to sort of come on the TV and do her news bit, and she, quite obviously sometimes she'd had a couple of liveness before she went on, and she didn't do it anymore. So
you'd have to have a few lagers, wouldn't you?
I think she'd had a couple of your gin and tonic sometimes. I think at the old royal receptions before she did her news bit. So I think I don't know whether it's another. I can't think of any other reason why the horse would be called Jenny Bond. So I'll have to find out whether the professor's got a bit of a thing about middle-aged newsreaders, because she was. We'll have to find out about that.
Conversation right off the rails here.
It is, isn't it? We'll end up getting sued or something before long. So she was, just to put, she was a very nice lady and a really good newsreader, and very good. She's much missed. She's far better than the bloke we got now, Nicholas Witchell, who's a bit of a sour face. So we'll have Jenny Bond back.
Needs a couple of lagers.
Yeah, and then we had the Mentalist back in fourth as well, didn't we? So
and the Mentalist showing a bit of form as well. And who else we had in this field?
Yeah, it was a good race, and of course that was the latest episode in the last Ben saga, wasn't it? As well, he refused to race again. So
again,
it's a strange one, because when I was talking to Charlie over Christmas, he said if it's got a big, I think he said if it had a big field, it didn't mind racing. It was only little when there weren't many runners, it didn't want to run. So I was surprised when it didn't go. I thought it'd go this time. But,
and Hollywood Hinton would have been unhappy with a couple of Moss-Ferry getting pulled up, so you guess that's more of a competitor.
Yeah.
Out the back, tail off.
A few of them this week, horses that sort of pulled up, but you don't normally expect to. But it was good finish that, and I did think that Jenny Bond had come through to win, and
it was a deceptive angle on that as well.
It was. I think it was the race before. I think there was a race before that where I did actually call the result sort of wrong as they crossed the line. I'm pretty sure it was a race before, and
yeah, I think it was.
When the results page came up, it was a length, and I don't know how it could possibly have been a length from the angle it was recorded. It was filmed by, but
I'm pretty sure with Hollygrove native you called it, and because of the angle of the camera in the actual finish of the race, it looked I think it looked a bigger gap, and then when the replay came on, I was like, oh, that was closer than.
Yeah, because I remember from the race that Jenny Bond looked like she'd come through to win it, really, and was sort of powering onto the finish, and then Hollygrove native finished like a train, didn't it? And collared her on the line. But that was a good race, that, and now I'm sure those top three will win again, and the fourth as well, probably as well. So those novice races are looking pretty exciting come Cheltenham, because they'll no doubt all be in there battling against each other, and should be pretty good.
Okay, we'll move on to race 28, and that was the finale juvenile hurdle, and that was grade 1 from Chepstow, and no stopping John Morgan's stable again.
No, and all the big names up there again, aren't they, really? Thunderspark second, and Leon van Rensburg fifth, and Paul Rhodes fourth, everybody. So
Jim Murray's a handy trainer, so
Yeah.
He was in there having a look.
Yeah, polishing was good. Come through to win the race well. Paradis, the Leon van Rensburg horse, looked like the likely winner at the start of the race. Before looking at the form, you'd have thought that would be
Even the money favourite.
up there, but it never really got into the race at all. Never looked like winning. But polishing was good. Pretty comfortable win. Much more comfortable than the length and a quarter suggested there. So that's going to be that would have to be fancied for the Triumph Hurdle at Cheltenham now. Cheltenham's probably coming up in 3 weeks or so, probably. That'll be one you'll be looking at for the Triumph, I think.
That sounds good, and that's a pretty straightforward race. So we'll move on to race 29, Welsh Grand National.
Oh yeah, what
Grade 3 handicap.
what a race that was as well. That was absolutely incredible race. Some really good horses in that, and some really good performances. And that My Princess Laura that won, lumping that great big weight around there, I didn't think he'd stand a chance, to be honest, of going that far against all those good horses with that sort of weight, especially the pace that West Tip set, because they went pretty quick. It was impressive. It was very impressive, and it didn't look like it was stopping at the end either. So. Could be a Grand National horse, that one. It'll have a hell of a lot of weight though, but
Let's hope it does, because I reckon I got the winner for the Grand National. So.
Oh yeah, all right.
It's because I played on My Princess Laura's again.
All right. Yeah, that was good. I thought New Barris had got it, and that My Princess Laura just started to get up towards the end. John the Baptist ran a good race in third as well. Chris Cross was fourth. That run was on. Another really interesting one. There's a round DBX that came fifth because Joshua Sutherland put in the notes box of the race card right back in about week 2 or 3 that he thought this was his Gold Cup horse, and it's been really disappointing most weeks, and it hasn't done a lot at all. But it certainly found its form this week and ran a really good race. And at one point, it looked like it was gonna win. So.
Good.
Got to be pretty pleased with that.
Coming some form.
Yeah,
it didn't finish far away, did it? So.
It didn't. No, it was. At one point, it did look like it was going to win. Something of a surprise because I'd sort of written it off, to be honest. The other one that had a big weight in that was Graham Clutterbuck's horse Aqua Blue. That came through with a bit of a chance, 3 or 4 out as well, and then I think the weight told on that one, and it ended up dropping back. It finished 19th, but it was eased when beaten. It was in there with a chance 2 or 3 out. But I think the weight got to that one.
Yeah, 12. That was the top weight.
It was. Yeah, got even more weight than My Princess Laura. But that's a pretty impressive thing to do, to win that race against all those good horses, giving that much weight away. And I think I had a sneaky look on the forums just there with a horse of the week vote, and I think My Princess Laura's walking it, which is not surprising really, because I'm guessing that the majority of the people that go on there are probably British sort of based, and sort of British people do like staying chaser that lumps a great big weight round and wins, and it's not surprised to see that it's got a lot of votes. But whether it was a better performance than Festival Stanley's winning the King George, I don't know, but it was pretty good, and be interesting to see where that one goes next. Does it drop down in Trip and have a crack at the Gold Cup, or does it go up in Trip and see if it can lump a big weight round the Grand National, or does it go for both?
If you go by the comments here, it sounded like pretty much it had run its full measure here. 29 furlongs sounds like that was about far enough. So maybe dropping back a little bit might be all right for us. So.
Yeah, it could be could do. It's interesting. And when I was saying to somebody the other week as well, I think it was Charlie. I think we were having a chat at Christmas. The Grand National can be is a misleading race, because don't necessarily need to be a horse that stays 4 miles to win the Grand National. The good horses are not racing for the first circuit. The jockeys are just keeping them out of trouble and getting them round, and they start racing halfway round. So a good 3 mile horse will do better in the Grand National than a solid 4 mile horse, which sounds daft, but it's pretty.
That makes sense in a lot of ways. The Grand National is one of those unique races, and it's just so far such a grueling course. nice. There's big jumps, and and you're probably right. You need that horse that just goes to sleep for the first lap, just nice and relaxed, doesn't do much work, just bowls along, and then you wake it up for the second lap.
Yeah, I mean that's what all the jockeys always used to say years ago. They say hunt round the first track and just find a nice little position away from, because they used to let some really poor horses run in it. If you get a chance sometime, if you're of that sort of mind to want to do it, I'm a bit of a sado sometimes, and you go on YouTube and you can find the Grand National from sort of like in the 60s and the 70s, where they've still got the actual footage from the TV, where you've got the commentator and around a paddock and all that sort of stuff. And you've got some horses that are running that really got absolutely no chance of getting round, and they're ridden by sort of 50-year-old amateurs who've putting up 2 stone overweight and all sorts of crazy stuff. I remember in the 70s there was a bloke called the Duke of Albuquerque. The only race he ever used to ride in every year, and he used to ride it, I think it was called Nerio, I think, and he used to ride it every year, and it never got round, and it was all the real jockeys used to go up the wall and keep out the way of him because he's a total maniac, and he just sort of like riding his horse in the Grand National. But they've changed the rules now, so you've got to be of a certain ability to get in the first place, which makes sense, which makes it a better horse race, but not quite as dramatic as it used to be from the old Grand Nationals of the 70s that I remember, where used to anything could happen.
Because back in the day, weren't the jumps right across the track from the inside bar to the out?
Yeah, they've changed the fences quite a lot. I mean, Beecher's Brook is nothing compared to what it used to be. You look at some old films and see how big that drop was on the other side. If you were going too fast when you came into that, it didn't matter how good you were, you toppled over. Probably makes sense that they've levelled it up a bit, because it was a bit sort of that was the fence really, rather than the chair, because the chair's big but it's pretty sort of level. That drop on that other side was every single horse that you saw jump it, you could buckle over at the front, and the jockeys would be calling cabs at the back and all sorts. It's definitely a lot easier than it was.
Probably rightly so.
Yeah, nobody wants to see anybody getting injured and stuff, and there's some good horses that have come to grief at that. I remember the Gold Cup winner Alverton about 1979, John Joe O'Neill on it, that won the Gold Cup, ran in the Grand National, and he got killed at Beecher's Brook. I'm pretty sure at an interview with John Joe O'Neill, he said he felt the horse die mid-air. We don't really want to see those sort of things, do we?
Yeah, not at all.
Which is one of the good things about SO6, because we don't get any of that, do we?
That's it. No one dies, no one gets hurt. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, that was a good race. That was. I really enjoyed that. Good big field, and a good long distance big field. I must admit, I like commentating on them, because you can get a bit of a rhythm going. You can get a bit of a feel for them all and spot them all coming round and see what's going on. And yeah, it's a good race, and pretty certain that Princess Laura is going to be voted the horse of the week for that performance.
And we'll see it win again too.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It'll definitely win. I quite fancy seeing it taking on some of those 3-milers, though, to be honest, your Basaglios and your Miss Beats, because they keep sort of like running bad races now and again and whatever, and that My Princess Laura is consistent. It could go in there and do them all if it's got the speed, and it looks like it might have. So, but again, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's a John Morgan stable. He's got that many. He's probably got 2 others that are better than it for the Gold Cup, so he won't get a look in. So. That's
right, yeah, definitely. And we'll move on to race 30, and that was another great one, and that was the Hassan's Grace Hurdle at Fairy House. And that was an easy win for Cope.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And another John Morgan one. So that one really well from memory as well. I was staying right at the end. Really good jump at the final flight as well, just to put it to bed, really. And there was some good horses behind that. Delirium, that was third. Not quite sure why that went off such a short price favourite, but it was probably a worthy favourite, but I shouldn't think it should have been even money. Flashback Friday for the Professor again in second, so another good race. And what was that?
Eskimo Red, that's been a consistent performer. Maybe not winning, but it's always a chance. And Parkland Girl as well is another horse that's been fairly consistent. So.
Yeah, 2.5 miles. That's I don't think that's going to affect the Champion Hurdle betting too much. But like we said earlier, Redundant Pal looks like he's got that sort of in the bag anyway. So it's with a hurdle, isn't 2.5 miles. Let's say it's that sort of in the middle bit, isn't it? It's You've got the long distance race over 3 miles, and you've got the champion hurdle over 2. I don't think there's a real proper championship race for 2.5 mile hurdlers, but that's a Group 1 race anyway, so all roads don't necessarily have to lead to Cheltenham, do they? And the big festival, but that's a good Group 1 winner. And it was a good end to the group race. Now I had some really good jumping races this last week.
Looks like this weekend coming up we've got more really good jumping races as well. Like I was doing my nominations today, and it's just heaps of grade races, group races over the hunt this weekend coming up. So
yeah, they come up thick and fast, don't they? So have you got anything this week that we should be keeping a special lookout for? Or?
From my stable? Yeah, probably not. One of my sprinters, Vitachi Shoulder, I thought that was going to do a bit better than what I did last weekend. I've got to do this weekend, so it'll probably be the race that Bob's up in. So when I'm not really too certain about it. So
yeah, you're definitely getting closer. You're definitely getting closer. I noticed you had a few this week that were up there towards the front end, and that Aussie Dougie ran well again this week, didn't it? Or last week? So,
yeah, it's that's getting closer and closer. You know, so that'll win before the end of the season. That's
the 3 things we need, then, isn't it? Before the season ends, we need Last Ben to win. We need either you, Mike, or Tim to have a winner, so that the commentating section isn't totally disgraced. I can laugh about it this year because I'm not involved, but you get your own back on me next year if I have a go. And then the third thing we want is Aussie Dougie.
Exactly right. And actually, Mike's probably been a bit unlucky so far this season. I know he's concentrated a bit more on the jumps this time around than the flat. So
yeah, well, that seems to be the one thing that his jump horses are not very good at. Is jumping, because they go really well in the lead, and then all of a sudden they just fall over. If he got them to jump better, I think he'd have a few winners, because they certainly seem to run all right. But I might be talking out of the top of my head, but from memory, I seem to remember he asked more than his fair share of fallers.
Well, I don't really say traditionally, but last season a lot of his horses were front runners. It's just one of those traits he's bred into his stable, just like Charlie's bred horses that just don't race. So like they're front runners. So he's just been unlucky this season. So
yeah, so if he gets one that can run and jump, I reckon he'll have a world beater on his hands. So and to be fair to Tim, I don't think Tim's got many, has he? I think he's only got about 2 or 3, hasn't he?
Yeah, Tim's a real late starter, and I think one of his horses last weekend ran a cheeky race. Yeah, it's just this season. It's just some giggles for him.
Yeah, it's sure he'll get some better ones in next year, because you listen to him doing his roundup bits. He knows what he's talking about, doesn't he? He's got a good eye for him. So that's good.
Definitely.
So we've all ended up a bit everything's gone a bit slow this week, really. I think I've got too used to having 2 weeks to do the review shows, and it's already on Friday, and I haven't got either of them out yet. The flat one is all but finished, and hopefully that one will be done within the next hour or so, and then we'll get straight onto this one. So they'll be out before the racing starts on Sunday night with a few little surprises thrown in there as well.
That's right.
Should be interesting, and next week we'll have a go at getting them through a little bit earlier. So how's your gin and tonic going? The ice has melted now, I suppose, or have you polished it off?
Yeah, well, I've got a really big piece of ice in there.
That's good.
It's still a big piece of ice, so
right.
Just a little bit more to go, and then relax and hit bed.
Right, so today's it's Friday, isn't it, in Australia? Still, it's Friday here as well. It's like Friday night there, isn't it, there? So
it's actually Saturday morning now, so...
Yeah, so you say today was your day off day, or is that tomorrow? You're going to go back into work in the morning?
Yeah, Saturday. Saturday's my day off.
Right, that's good. So you got a nice chilled out sort of day tomorrow, then you can have a good day, and back behind the mic on Sunday. Sunday night's races. And I think you're going to my local track for a couple of races. I've got a couple on Tuesday, and I think you've got a couple at the end of Monday at Warwick, which is more sort of like the closest track to me. Well, only it's not geographically the closest to me, because I think now where I live now, Leicester might be a little bit closer, but Warwick is my sort of traditional sort of home track where I used to go when I was a kid all the time, and I still go go as much as I can now, and they're really racing there tomorrow. So I might pop along and have a look and see what's what. So.
Yeah, why not?
So if you find yourself down there,
look
you need to
around.
nip in the old fourpenny shop hotel before the racing, because there's a nice bar in there. There's a few sort of nice ladies behind the bar who pour you a nice drink out, and if you tell them
Is there a beer I need to ask for?
yeah, if you tell them that I've sent you, you'll get special treatment, so you'll be all right. So you'll enjoy yourself Monday.
Rumor I heard I won't get any discount. You're buying that.
Yeah, so enjoy that. And have a good day off tomorrow. It's been good chatting again, and
Always.
we'll have another good week's racing next week, and we'll do it all again next time.
No problem, mate.
All right, see you later, Doug.
No, see you, mate.
Okay, well that's it, all done then for another week. That was the Week 7 National Hunt Review, all done, dusted and in the books. Sorry they were a little bit late this week, but I believe you're getting at least one of the review shows as a live stream on Saturday night. So we'll be back, as we said, we're racing next week, and the review shows next week, where we've got an interview with Joshua Sullivan, one of the trainers in one of the shows. Not sure which one it's going to be in yet, but it'll be in one of the two next week. And we all had a good weekend, and good luck with the races this week, and we'll catch you all next time. Next in Festival Stanley's looking for room over the last, and it's Belcourt Charm. Belcourt Charm takes it up now. Here comes Festival Stanley throwing down a big challenge. Festival Stanley's beginning to get up as they race towards the line. Festival Stanley's going up from Belcourt Charm, and Festival Stanley's going to hold off Bazaglio winner King George.